Hi guys, welcome to another Jamaican video, a Jamaican living in Germany, or as I would say in German, ein Jamaicaner, der in Deutschland wohnt. Yeah, I think that's enough German for today. Continuing with the culture shocks, in this video I want to talk about the people. What are Germans like? What are the culture shocks that I experienced in terms of relating to Germans? I remember when I was moving to Germany and my friends in Jamaica and even other people were saying to me like, hey, you're going to Germany? And they started listing all the stereotypes, especially about the people and stuff. Believe it or not, Germans are really nice people. Naturally, in comparison to Jamaicans, Germans aren't necessarily that open. I mean, I've recognized that in terms of getting to know people here, it kind of goes in stages. In English, we kind of use friend to describe this about everyone, even if it's a work colleague. But here, they're very precise and they make it clear exactly what the friendship or what the relationship with the person is. People are naturally more comfortable within the circles of their friends and their family members. And to get into some of these circles sometimes is very hard. What I've recognized is that with a little beer, it's like everything changes. Like, I've had this experience so many times where I'm just walking on the street and then all of a sudden someone just starts talking to me or someone calls out from a car or whatever stuff and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're drunk. I also find Germans to be very, very private people. I mean, they clearly make distinctions in terms of, for example, with their different relationships and so on and the things that they will talk about with different people. I remember when I was doing a German class at the university and in the textbook, it's like they kind of listed out, topics that you would talk about with your work colleagues, for example, versus with your friends and so on, which is kind of understandable, but I found it interesting that it was made like so clear and so obvious. I guess what, hey, certain things you just don't talk about with certain people. Privacy goes even into the language. How you speak to someone formally versus how you speak to someone that you're acquainted with. You're using different words already. So of course you're gonna not speak about certain things because it just wouldn't be appropriate. Even though I find them to be private people, what always intrigues me, for example, is if you're just walking on the street, that most times, like in the evenings, you can literally look straight into people's houses, like in their living rooms and so on. I mean, of course, they have shutters and stuff, but I just find it so interesting, like it's kind of open. Back in Jamaica, it's like the complete opposite. We're all about, get curtains, nobody should be looking in the house. When I came to Germany and I started listening to like German radio stations, what was surprising for me was just like how many English songs they play. I mean, maybe even more than 90% of the songs that they play on most of the radio stations here are English songs. And for me, that was really, really surprising because of course there are like a lot of German songs, but somehow English songs seem to be the thing to play. Another thing that was also surprising for me was hearing like English curse words. I mean, in Germany, English curse words aren't really curse words, they're just normal words. Hearing these curse words on the radio was actually really different for me because I'm not accustomed to that. Now, coming from Jamaica, I kind of thought I was tall. Like, looking at the average height of people in Jamaica, I thought, yeah, I'm actually tall. Usually people are kind of looking up to me. And then I came to Europe, I came to Germany, and it was the opposite. It's usually typical where I'm kind of looking up at people and I'm like, whoa, this guy's so tall. And for me, that was like really, really surprising because I'm like, I don't want to be the shortest one. I mentioned this in the last video that one of the things that I found really surprising and I fell in love with about Germany is just how socially responsible the people are. Let's say it's like 9 o'clock, it's dark, there aren't really that many cars on the road, and it's pretty normal for you to see someone just standing there at the pedestrian crossing and they're waiting for the light to change for them to cross the road. Whether it's in the middle of the day or even sometimes in the middle of the night, you have people that will actually wait until the light changes before they cross the road. Something like that you wouldn't find in most other countries, but in Germany, it's normal. People here aren't afraid to point out when you are breaking the rules. People here are very direct. They tell you things as they are. They're not the type to sugarcoat and all that stuff. So if something is wrong, they're gonna tell you as it is. You see the impact of this social responsibility in just about all areas of life in Germany. You see it in the upkeep of the country in terms of you go different places, you won't see garbage on the street and so on because people recognize the importance of keeping the society in tip-top shape. So now to get to the stereotype that probably everyone knows about Germans, punctuality. But before we get there, let's make a comparison. Now, Jamaicans, my people, I love them. But when it comes to punctuality, yeah, we are really, really bad in that area. So if you're ever in Jamaica and a Jamaican tells you, hey, we're going to meet up at 5 o'clock, yeah, Maybe 6 o'clock they'll be there, maybe 6:30 they'll be there. And this has happened to me countless times because yeah, I'm the punctual type. But here in Germany, I find to be the complete opposite, where people respect time. When they say it's supposed to start a certain time, you can expect that that's going to be the time. And they're expecting you to also be there on time. Germans seem to really like carbonated water. I don't like it one bit because for me carbonated water is kind of just soda without sugar. And some people that I know, they say it actually tastes better than like normal water, which I kind of find to be strange. If you go to a restaurant and you want some water, then you have to pay for it. Back in Jamaica, you would usually get like even a glass of water or something, but here you're gonna pay for it. Back in Jamaica, people usually have maybe every couple of months or every couple of years, they go to the graves of their loved ones and they just make sure that it's kind of clean, like remove weeds and stuff. In Germany, I find that to be much more frequent. If you walk through the cemetery on a typical day, you're gonna find someone there actually attending to the grave of their loved ones. I mean, it's a cemetery, but then there's so much life there. It's like the cemetery isn't just, you know, a cemetery, it's like somewhat of a garden. Back in Jamaica, a wedding is a big thing where, you know, it happens at a church and you have a reception afterwards. But here it's like scaled down in a lot of ways, because if you want to get married at a church, then that's actually extra. The real wedding happens at the city office. So you go there and there's someone, they read a few things, you sign the paper and you're married. Experiencing Christmas in Germany was kind of a new level for me, just seeing like the attention that people actually give to this holiday and the things that actually go on. They have a Christmas market which lasts usually like for 4 weeks or something. It's like the ultimate thing. It's like they have like these little stalls that are set up and people are selling different craft items and different Christmas food items and drinks. When you go to most cities, they have something of a Christmas market. The fact that I moved to Germany meant that I was expecting new things and I wanted new things. I got exactly what I was looking for. There were a lot of new things to adjust to, a lot of things I needed to kind of rethink. I had to be patient in a lot of things, especially as it pertains to making like really good friends and so on. I saw a video a couple weeks ago where someone was sharing their experience that it's really hard to make friends in Germany. I could actually empathize with the person because I actually went through that process. It was a bit challenging at first, like to get settled, especially with the people here. It really was a challenging process, but today I can be really thankful that I could say some of the most amazing friends here in Germany, and they've actually made the experience living here amazing. I mean, these are people that sometimes they aren't just friends, they are kind of like my family. For some people it might not be that way, but I just encourage you just to be patient. It's a different culture and it takes a bit of time to kind of break the ice and so on. But when you finally break the ice, it's like an amazing experience, I find. So that's it for part 2 of the culture shock videos, and thank you so much for watching. The next video, it's going to be about the language. So I'm going to be showing you how much German I don't know. And until then, please leave some comments down below, like the video, share it, and please subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.